KSI appearing on Aiden Ross's stream and, you know, freaking out and getting angry and doing the same thing with IShowSpeed. It's so obvious that he hit these guys up beforehand and said, okay, you're going to play it on stream. Can I get a reaction? And then he just gives like the worst reaction possible. I'm not sure whether he actually set it up as like an actual stage thing or not, because obviously if KSI sent a DM saying, I'm gonna fake being angry, this will be so funny, that will probably be leaked and used against him later. So he's probably a little bit too smart to do that, at least. But again, if you're calling up people like IShowSpeed and Aiden Ross to listen to your song, like they are clip farming gods in themselves. So it's obvious that you were going to join in on that. So this goes to show we've transcended clip farming on streaming and TikTok, and now it has actually entered the real world. But I think as well, not to be like a moral crusader like Left Funny White Knight, but also he was harassing Dan TDM for like weeks on end, basically to promote his song. And keep in mind, Dan made one tweet and then basically never mentioned it ever again. Meanwhile, KSI was just like dogpiling the guy over and over and over. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't really seem like Dan cares. He was just doing his own thing anyway. But yeah, there's something very weird about that. Now, besides that, on the podcast, they talked about some other weird topics as well. Like, for example, KSI saying that he used to have a crush on Rosanna Pansino, to which then Rosanna tweeted the clip with a kiss emoji. By the way, if you don't know who Rosanna is, she's basically one of Mr. Beast's biggest critics. She recently did a video like reviewing Lunchleys, which we will get into later, saying that Lunchleys the bad guy, and also more importantly, Logan Paul's feud with Tommy Innit on Twitter. So surprisingly, with the feud with Tommy Innit, which Tommy Innit absolutely bodied Logan Paul, Logan basically admitted like, yeah, I messed up and I've learned from the error of my ways. And then after that, does a pouty face. Jesus Christ. The thing is with like people like Logan Paul and KSI, they're marketers, right? They're into marketing massively. And I feel like the only reason why Logan is actually admitting fault is because he lost. Because Logan is this weird entity where he's involved in like so many businesses. The guy is a multi-millionaire. He is incredibly rich, incredibly powerful, but weirdly enough, he doesn't actually get that much pull on specific social medias. On TikTok, he does insane numbers. Instagram, the same thing there. But then when it comes to Twitter and on YouTube, the guy basically has no pull there. His fan base is very differently divided. And when Logan was arguing with Tommy on Twitter, that wasn't his home turf. That wasn't Instagram. So he lost and got ratioed over and over and over. Meanwhile, Tommy Innit blew up during lockdown, and all the Minecraft kids, all the stands, they use Twitter, and a lot of them have grown up with him. So Twitter is Tommy's home turf. That's why he won. Now, one bit of credit I do want to give these guys, even though this podcast is the most out of touch thing imaginable. They make a very good point during the podcast that there are other YouTubers that are promoting even more unhealthy foods and snacks to kids. Like, for example, Ryan Trahan. He is seen as like the wholesome chungus Reddit gold, basically Mr. Beast creator. Like, he can do no wrong. But he's also promoting a gummy sweet that he made, which, to be fair, probably has less nutrition than a Lunchley. Or people like Kai Cenat that are doing a collab with McDonald's, and McDonald's isn't exactly that healthy. I mean, to be fair, like, you're asking me, would I rather live on a Kai Cenat meal or a Lunchley? The McDonald's collab would probably give me diabetes faster, but at least there'd be some kind of moisture there. So, it is time to address the moldy elephant in the room. So I'm sure you've seen in various videos and TikToks, some of the Lunchleys that have been sent out to kids have mold in them. This seems to be more specifically the pizza meals. Now, before I get into this, I do need to give KSI, Mr. Beast, and Logan Paul some credit. They are not the first people to make food that has mold in them. Many supermarkets that put out tons and tons of processed, pre-packaged foods occasionally have mold in them, and it can be worse. It can have, like, you know, cockroaches, dead rats. But does that give them an excuse? No. I mean, it's obvious from day one that Lunchley is just an absolute cash grab. But I'm not sure how this happened, how every single planet in our solar system aligned at once, because one of these moldy Lunchley packages actually fell into the hands of Rosanna Pansino. Now, I can't help but laugh at this because I think Rosanna is probably one of the biggest Mr. Beast renters in the entire world. So this has to be like a divine intervention or like an act of karma or something, that like one of your biggest critics actually managed to get their hands on a moldy Lunchley. What's even funnier as well is the fact that Rosanna apparently got hold of this package totally by accident. You know, she wasn't going through hundreds of packages to find one that was moldy to make the argument. It was basically the first one she bought off the shelf. And recently, she's been doing a lot of videos being critical of Mr. Beast. And in this video, she wanted to do a genuine taste test of the Lunchley Lunchleys, comparing them to the brand they're trying to, you know, copy, Lunchables. She wasn't the only one to taste test it, though. She had DarkPack404, who has also made videos being incredibly critical of MrBeast, and Jake Weddle, someone that was in a MrBeast video and mistreated to the point that MrBeast actually reached out to him to, you know, offer condolences and to pay him money. So throughout the video, Rosanna talks about various alternatives that kids can have for lunch that are healthier, and also surprisingly compliments Lunchleys nacho cheese for actually being healthier than the Lunchables version. And then we got to the point where she opens the pizza meal, and despite having a sell-by date of December this year, it had quite a decent amount of mold on it.
This is molded. That's mold. This is not safe, especially like kids that are so young. They may not know what mold looks like. They might just eat it. I saw a picture circulating about mold, but I didn't know if it was fake or, you know, I just had heard about it. But this is real, you guys. I think it's a packaging issue. The sealant here feels really cheap.
And I do want to say, by the way, this is not an isolated case. There have been many, many people on Twitter and even streamers documenting that their Lunchleys, when they bought them, had mold inside.
No way!
What?
No, that is actually mold. That's 100% mold. I'm so sorry. Oh no, do you see it right there?
You even have this tweet with a sign put on the fridge saying, due to public health concerns, the FDA has recalled Lunchly products. We will restock as soon as deemed fit for consumption and shipped through our...
My Wi-Fi's working. Why have I been kicked? Look, why did I get kicked? Oh fuck, we'll do Sri Lanka.